Malcolm really dives into Sesame Street, and I'm a numbers girl, so I really appreciate the point that he came across. What he did is he laid out the journey of Sesame Street, but he didn't just lay out the history, the nice fluffy history
Mm-mm.
that people like to
He
tell.
had analytics,
He
numbers,
went in
percentages.
yes, he went really into the numbers of why Sesame Street became the success it was,
Mhm.
because they did a lot of split testing.
They did.
They
A
not
lot of market
only
research.
got only the celebrities to come in and see which celebrity the kids like, they went in and said, "Hey, did the kids like this background? Did they
Mhm,
like this Muppet? Did they
mhm.
like this Muppet saying this particular word? The
How long
phonetics."
their sketches were.
Yeah, how long, the phonetics of what they were saying. There was
Mhm,
so many things that they tested on a group of kids
mhm.
to see what stuck. And the great thing about it, and I didn't know about it, is that I think they only recorded 5 episodes, or they didn't go they recorded a bunch of them, but what they ended up doing is they really went in and did research before going in and recording a lot of them in succession.
Yeah, they had their pilots basically,
Yeah,
but then they gathered information.
they went and they gathered their data before they went and executed a plan. And I just thought that was fantastic because in our journey with, YouTube is its own algorithm, YouTube is its own platform. And so our whole mission here is for impact, right? We want to reach as many people as possible and impact as many lives as we
Education.
can with the education of these business mindset books, education and elevation, right? So, what's the best way of doing it? Are we being sticky enough? Are our taglines good enough? Is our thumbnails good enough? Do we have the good color? Do we have the good fonts? And all of that, these are all little nuances that we're figuring out. But the only way to figure it out was by split
Test it.
testing
Yep,
how. And the split test, what that means is just think like a scientist, guys.
yep.
Okay. You have one color, you
Option
got
A,
another
option
color.
B.
Yeah. And you have your control. So
Mhm,
you're testing things just like a scientist would test an experiment.
mhm.
Um, and so he kind of dove into how the mechanics of Sesame Street became the success it was based on scientific split testing.
Yes, and I think it's a formula that almost any industry,
Any industry could use.
especially since marketing and
Yeah.
advertising, so on a social platform,
Yeah.
and it's doesn't cost us anything
It doesn't.
anymore.
Folks, you have to put stuff out there. I think one of the things I don't want anyone getting stuck on in this book is that you need to do all this testing before you launch. Forget about that. Launch,
Get started,
you
get
need to
yourself out there.
you got to
Yep.
get your data from your customers and then you can start doing the split testing stuff,
Mhm.
okay? But in B Chic, we during COVID, we actually made face masks, like actually with fabric and hand knitted face mask. And what we did is we launched a campaign on Facebook, and we were spending a lot of money on Facebook ads. And my husband was like getting irritated. He's like, "Leilani, you're spending all this money." I'm like, "I have to split test. I need to run all of these different experiments to see which is the one that resonates the best with our core customer." And we had to spend money in order to do it. But once we figured out who that core customer was and what resonated with them, which model, which fabric, which pattern, what resonated with them the best, we went and we sold $70,000 worth of face mask in a
Wasn't it the
short period
hunky
of time.
man?
Yeah, it was a hunky man, by the way, because I'm telling you, it was 55-year-old ladies love hunky mans. But we ended up having to do a lot of split testing in order to figure it out. And so I love how they talk about where it's unconventional. Unconventional thinking will always be challenged,
Yep,
right?
but
But
it's usually the one that
it's
works.
usually the one what's and that's why split testing, yes, but also gut and intuition is going to be the other factor in
Mhm.
this.